is Jessie, and I do perfume reviews in ASMR format. So if you enjoy perfume and also if you enjoy ASMR, you are in a good place for our video today. Alright, so today I'm doing a review of Prada's Infusion Diamant. I hope I'm saying that right. I did not look up the pronunciation at the time, but I'm going to say Prada's Infusion Diamant. This means almond infusion, assuming that infusion means infusion in French. Anyway, so Prada has a whole line of infusion fragrances. It's called Les Infusions de Prada, and I recently bought a sampler, like a mini sampler. I really enjoy the packaging. So this one is a sampler with seven minis. They're dabbers, and you know how much I don't love dabbers, but I went ahead and got it anyway because I didn't obviously want to pay full price for bottles or travel sprays or something. But anyway, so they are in here, as you can see. Very cute. I love the green theme for this line. It's just very like natural and pleasant and sophisticated looking. So I will be reviewing all of these fragrances. So stay tuned for the other reviews. The top seller from the Les Infusions line is Prada's Infusion d'Iris. Iris Infusion. This one right here, which I have already reviewed. That was the one I reviewed first. But anyway, there's even more fragrances from this line. This is not all of them, this is just some of them. So anyway, today I'm going to be reviewing Prada's Infusion Diamant. And yeah, I really like this fragrance, so I'm excited to talk about it with you. This one is the blue theme, so if you actually look at the full bottle, it has a blue cap and the liquid is, I think, slightly blue. Hi everybody, I just wanted to take a little break from the rest of the movie here because I did actually wind up buying a full bottle of this fragrance because I did really enjoy it. So here is what the full bottle looks like. Yeah, it's really classy. I really enjoy it. You may have heard me say before that I love blue, and particularly kind of a light blue like this. I love blue. Has always been my favorite color. This blue is just so calming, don't you think? So yeah, and then it's got this silver, blue and silver. It's got the Prada label. So that's what the full bottle looks like. Here's the box. I did notice that some of these boxes they just say Amande, and then some say Infusion Diamant, Infusion Diamant. I'm not sure if it's different batches or maybe this is an older packaging. I'm not sure. But I did wind up buying this from fragrancenet.com because they had the lowest price that I could find. I found a lower priced one on eBay, but it looked a little sketchy, so I wasn't sure if it was legitimate. I'm pretty sure FragranceNet, hopefully everything they sell is legitimate, and this does smell, to me it smells just like the little mini that I was showing earlier. So anyway, I just wanted to break the movie clip for a minute just to tell you that I did wind up purchasing this fragrance. I do really enjoy it. I believe it's the only one from the Infusion, I don't know how to say that, Infusion line that I'm going to purchase. If I had to purchase a second one, it would probably be either just the original Iris or the Iris Cedar. I really like those two, but they both smell kind of similar to this one, so I'm not gonna go ahead and purchase either of those. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and go back to the rest of the movie. Hi, Lulu. My cat would like to be a part of things, but I don't know that there's room over here. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this out of this little cardboard packaging to show you the actual dabber bottle. Oh, but also I dressed on theme, as you can tell. Just wearing this blue color that matches the blue of the bottle. And I wore these earrings because I thought they were like a very almondy color. And the roundness kind of just, I don't know, made me think of almonds somehow. Even though almonds aren't round, but it just worked in my brain. Okay, so I'm taking the bottle out, and this is what the actual mini looks like. Now, like I said, this is a dabber, so it does not spray. But I'm gonna go ahead and dab it on. I'm gonna go ahead and dab it on some paper, and then I'll show you what we have. I do. Okay, so today we have some tulips. Tulips. And yeah, I am just going to, actually I see some on the lid, some liquid on the lid, so I'm just going to go ahead and snag it if I can. Snag it. I don't know that that's really going to be enough to smell, so I'll get a little bit more from the bottle, but I'm going to resell a lot of these, so I don't want to, I don't want to take too much if I don't have to. I'll put the rest on my wrist. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a moment to dry down. I will say before I even get into the notes or the smell that this smells very, very much like Prada's Infusion de Iris, which, like I said, that's their best seller, very popular, successful fragrance, and the Infusion Diamant, which I'm reviewing today, does smell very similar in my opinion. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and smell this fragrance, which I have dabbed, and let you know my thoughts. Okay, so this is a very pleasant, feminine, soft, powdery fragrance. I honestly don't get a huge amount of almond. It's a subtle almond. It's not super sweet. It's not that sort of almond extract, syrupy almond, super sweet, boozy almond. It's not that at all. It's a very it's not really sweet. It's not bitter. It doesn't come off as bitter, but it doesn't come off as sweet either. And it's very powdery, very lightly sweet, lightly vanilla, very subtly, lightly almond. There's also touches of like floral and anise, and I know the notes in here, so like that's why I'm saying that, but it's very light. It's like a nice little cozy hug. I feel like it could be a really beautiful bedtime fragrance. Definitely, to me, leans more feminine and leans a little bit more like vintage style. So I'm going to go ahead and read the main accords that we have listed on Fragrantica. Okay, so we have almond, vanilla, powdery, sweet, musky, nutty, floral, fruity, anise, and soft spicy. So I definitely get the almond, the powdery, touch of something vanillic, touch of floral, and listed on Fragrantica are bitter almond, heliotrope, musk, tonka bean, and anise. So, taking that to be true, I get the bitter almond, but it's subtle. It's not like super strong almond, not super sweet, not like almond extract for baking. I get heliotrope for sure. It's like I get a very powdery, floral, feminine vibe, and heliotrope also smells kind of almondy. I get a lot of musk, very musky, powdery, clean sort of feel. The tonka bean is what gives it a more vanilla type of touch, so I definitely get that. And then there's anise listed as well, and I also get the anise. I also really like anise as a note, so all of those notes make sense to me. Now I will go ahead and tell you what on Prada's website they say. The funny thing is, they say fragrance family is floral ambery, which, like, you know, they don't even really list any florals on there, as I'll show you. But anyway, for Prada's website, they say the key notes are bergamot, star anise, tonka bean, and sandalwood. So no almond and no floral, even though they say it's floral ambery and they say it's infusion of almond. So really confusing. But then if I read on and it says about the fragrance, Infusion Diamond Eau de Parfum captures the delicate personality of the almond in a floral ambery fragrance. Almond accord is imbued in a signature solution of citrus and musk, like the other Les Infusion fragrances. Infusion Diamond Eau de Parfum was released in 2019. So yeah, it's odd. It's odd that they call it floral, even though I see no florals listed on their website. Fragrantica lists heliotrope, which makes 100% sense to me. Honestly, I feel like I get more heliotrope than I get almond because heliotrope smells almondy. But anyway, to my nose, this is a powdery heliotrope fragrance. You know, bits of almond, but a little more on the bitter almond side, not super sweet. Touches of vanilla, clean, a little bit of anise, very beautiful. That's what I get. Love it. I love it. Probably not for everybody, but I think I might buy a bottle. So that is, that's my, review of Prada's Infusion Diamond. I will go ahead and read over some other stats and reviews from Fragrantica users on this fragrance. But first, I'm going to take a detour and I'm going to talk briefly about my other two. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll talk briefly about how, to me, this smells similar and different to Prada's Infusion Deities. Then I will touch briefly on the Prada fragrances that I own. Okay, so to compare Prada's Infusion Diamond to Prada's Infusion Deities, which, like I said, is their best-selling fragrance from this line, and actually, this is my fragrance of the day. I dabbed a little bit on my collar, and honestly, it's similar. The key differences, I would say, is that this one, it does have iris in it. It's not like screaming iris, but it's there. So this one has more of an iris note. Altogether, this iris comes through because of everything else going on. It's very dry, powdery, a little bit woody, and in this fragrance there is nuances, like touches of resins, a little bit of citrus, woodiness, and also like a note of incense, which is very subtle. But to me, they have very similar DNAs, these two fragrances, very similar DNAs. The Infusion Diamond, I would say, is a little bit sweeter. It's a little bit more floral, a little bit more feminine. Whereas this one, to me, smells a little more earthy, a little bit more natural, a little bit more unisex. And like I said, it's not just the iris, which iris can kind of have like an earthy vibe, but it's also all the other notes. There's vetiver in here, there's cedar, there's incense, there's some citrus, and there's galbanum and mastic. So there's like a herbally, woody, citrusy, resiny-ness going on in here, but it's subtle. It's still very powdery and clean, similar to the Infusion Diamond. It's very nice, and honestly, if the Infusion Diamond, if I did not know this existed and I smelled this, I would probably go ahead and buy this, because I really like the Infusion Diaries, but I think I like the Infusion Diamond better. And I honestly think the Infusion Diaries is 100% unisex. I think it's straight down the middle. Unisex does not lean male-female smelling in any way to me. Okay, next, like I said, I wanted to just touch briefly on the two Prada fragrances I own. This one is called Prada Candy, and I love this fragrance. I love it for similar reasons that I love these other two that I'm talking about, the Infusion Diamond and Infusion Diaries. It's similar in that it's powdery, it's a little bit vintage leaning. It definitely has a similar DNA. There's like this Prada DNA that exists in all three of these fragrances, and probably some of the other ones that I'm gonna test out, but I have not even worn most of the other ones from the set that I bought. But anyway, this one has notes of caramel, powdery notes. I think it has vanilla. Oh gosh, I don't remember the other stuff, but it's basically a super powdery caramel. But don't think gourmand, think like very proper, pretty, soft, kind of vintagey vibe. Really nice. So that's Prada Candy. And then Prada Candy Low is the other one that I own here. It's a flanker to Prada Candy, and it's discontinued, I believe. But this one, to me, smells similar to Prada Candy, but it has a sweet pea note, so, and I think also a citrus note in there, so it comes off as a little more bright, a little more floral citrusy, and it's sweeter. Funny enough, it's actually sweeter, even though it's the low version, like the lighter version. So yeah, another just, yeah, really pretty fragrance, but definitely a little more sweet. Love these bottles as well. I just love the Prada bottles and the whole vibe. So those are the two Prada fragrances that I own in my collection, and hopefully I will soon own Prada's Infusion Diamond. Okay, so back to this fragrance here. I'm gonna go ahead and read some other info from Fragrantica.com for you all. So it was launched in 2015, although I think they may have reformulated it since then. It has an overall rating of 4.25 out of 5 with 1,420 votes. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't like another listing on Fragrantica for this. So anyway, 4.25 out of 5 rating with 1,420 votes. So that's a really good rating. People really like this fragrance, and I get it. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it. So I would rate it a 5 out of 5, honestly. Okay, and then some other info. People are saying that the longevity is mid-range. I wore this on my clothing, as I always do. I did find that it lasted decently, but not great. I feel like after 4 hours it really started to fade, but I could still smell it on my clothing. At like 6 hours or so. It is a very intimate projection. I would say it's soft, cozy. It's not like super strong, and people on Fragrantica are saying that as well, that it's a more intimate, moderate sillage. somebody says, starting this review off by saying I'm not a fan of almond notes in perfume. It's an amalgamation